Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Je me présente.
Good morning to all of you. I'm UfM Ceed. I'm the director of Ceed since 2013. I have the honor to moderate one of the sessions of the virtual conference of Women for the Mediterranean 2020, the occasion of the 25th anniversary of the Mediterranean process. So basically, it's what measures are needed to face the impact of COVID-19. So Ceed, in partnership with the Union for the Mediterranean, decided to launch the program E-Inspire in order to help women to face the crisis and to relaunch the growth of their companies in these times of uncertainty and invisibility. We're going to listen the testimony of three very courageous women who could face this crisis and even just overcome it much stronger. But before that, I ask you just to follow us on the different social media channels. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, UfM Secretariat, and on LinkedIn, Union / Union of Mediterranean. You can follow us through Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, you can just go to Ceed Tunisia. So first and foremost, I want to show you the three candidates that I invited today to be a part of this panel. We have Madam Sondes Banouri, who founded a company. She has a BA in quantitative science, and before launching her project, she just worked in different sectors as responsible of human relations in a textile industry, and also she was responsible of a microfinance company, and then she worked in a counseling company in environment where she developed her projects. In 2013, she participated in a program organized by UNDP, and she received the prize of the best idea for a project. So Ms. Sondes Banouri just founded one of the most promising companies in Tunisia that is specialized in health garbage, and then she just created a new company that works also in recycling in the health sector. And then we have Manal Tayyib Kanzari, and she is the CEO of Bird Pictures, which is a communication and visual design agency that is very promising in Tunisia. After just studying in the High Management Institute in Tunisia, she was responsible of the marketing department of Reynolds. In 2013, she just used all her experience and knowledge in order to create her own communication company, Bear Pictures. Manel just participates regularly in helping the local NGOs and the companies in their organization and digital strategy. She was a mentor with Ceed Tunisia in the Inspire program that helps women. And then we have Ines Mimi. She was founded two recycling company. Madame Ines, after visiting the United States in the framework of the program Business Women Exchange, financed and funded by the American government, she decided to create her own company of recycling in the computing section. And after many years of fighting due to legal problems and administrative problems, and also in order to find all the funds, and now her company is just a pioneer in the electronic recycling sector, basically in a sector that is dominated by men. She inspires all young women who would love to create their own company. Basically, she has a success as a mentor with many young girls, and she also participated with Ceed Tunisia as a mentor. And thank you very much. So now I'm going to give the floor to Sondes to talk about her experience. The microphone, please. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, everybody. I'm just happy to be with you today. I'm Sans Banouri. I founded this company, and I have an experience of 6 years in the private sector. And then I decided to create my own company about the collection and the transport of different
This is why I've put in place an effective system for filters, for all kinds of waste and simulated products. And beyond those activities, which are complementary and strategic as per the consideration of the state, we are considered as a pilot in the northwestern region of Africa. And with the crisis, we are increasingly receiving orders. And I personally, when I hear talking about this illness at the beginning and before its widespread spread in my country, I was quite anxious, I must admit, and I thought about my responsibility with regards to my colleagues, my team, their security, their families. And so I said, how do we face a pandemic when everybody is afraid and nobody's got a solution? And now the only solution I have found is to be brave, as usual. And thanks to the constant support of my husband, too, who also works in these lines of activity. Also my colleagues and partners in the healthcare sector, the financial organizations that have also helped us and have become involved organizing training sessions around the security measures, trying to save as much as possible in our logistical planning, to face the new demands of the healthcare sector, given the situation, and also circulation restrictions and authorizations necessary. But the crisis has also been an opportunity for sterilization services. And so our role has become really important in a sense. We have put in place a system financed by the Tunisia Jobs Program. And we have also seen the opportunity in the crisis to respond immediately. The issue is we should have materials in order to increase the capacity for treatment and therefore for waste treatment. We have managed to do this to a significant level during this period. Also, thanks to the help of one trial, seeking help from virtual experts, and through the Ceed network platform, where we can share communication and information with regards to the support measures in the context of the government actions. This has allowed us to overcome this situation and go beyond the current crisis in providing even better services, creating jobs, and helping the citizenship at large. Thank you so much. Shirag said, crises are things that come regularly, and the big advantage of crisis is that generally we come out of them stronger. Thank you so much for sharing. And now I give the floor to Manal so she can share her experience in facing COVID. Thank you, Manal. The floor is yours. You're muted. Manel, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Bonjour à toutes.
Hello, everybody.
Bonjour.
Hello. Can you hear me all right? Yes, we
Bonjour à
can.
toutes et à tous.
Hello.
Merci UfM pour la
Good day,
présentation.
everybody. Thank you for
Et
the
merci
presentation, for the
aux
opportunity to
organisateurs
speak.
pour cette
I want to
invitation.
thank the organizers for the
Comme a dit
invitation to take part in this
UfM en
session.
2015 en tant que CEO de Beyond Pictures,
2015,
mon agence de
Beyond Pictures,
communication
my
fondée
communication
avec mon
agency
associé et mon
founded
frère Lisa.
with
Je fais
my
partie de la
brother and
deuxième
associate.
génération Ceed Glow.
I
Lors
am
de
there
cette
for the second
formation,
generation, in a
si
sense, in the
quelqu'un nous
business.
aurait dit que nous
We
étions en
wouldn't have
train d'être
believed what we would
outillés
have done
pour faire face à
if
l'une
we
des
would have
plus
had
grandes
to
crises
face one of the
économiques
biggest
jamais connues.
crises
Personne
ever
n'aurait cru,
known to humankind. We
personne
would
n'aurait
have
cru ou
believed
imaginé qu'on allait
or
vivre une
be
situation
able to
pareille.
imagine the
Du jour au
situation we are
lendemain, le
in
monde s'est
from one day to another. Everything stopped.
La moitié de
The
la
world
population
stopped.
mondiale
Half the
confinée, des
world
frontières
population
fermées,
was
de
locked
l'économie
down,
à
countries
l'arrêt.
were closed, the economy was
Et
in
pourtant,
dire straits.
c'est ce qui s'est passé.
And nevertheless, it has happened,
Ces
even though it
formations
was
Ceed Glow m'ont permis
unimaginable.
d'acquérir des outils et de
And
développer des
my training
compétences
has
qui
allowed
m'ont
me to
permis
have the
instinctivement
competencies
sur
and
le
the
coup
tools that
de faire face à cette crise.
enable me to
Mais
face
en
this
y
crisis
pensant
in a sense.
par la suite, je me suis rendu compte que nous avons
And I
plus ou
have
moins
come to
sauvé les meubles
realize
face à des
we've
situations
managed to
difficiles
get by
que
in the face
j'imagine
of
la
a very
plupart de
difficult
nous ont
situation. I
connu,
suppose
des clients
most
en
of us
difficulté de paiement,
have
des projets
faced problems
reportés
with
ou
invoice payment,
annulés,
with
une atmosphère
orders being
anxiogène et
cancelled,
imprévisible,
of course, with the
déviation
unexpected,
complète des stratégies
having
mises en
to
place et des
rethink
plans
our
d'action.
strategies
La
and our
question la plus
plans.
fréquente était à
And most
ce moment-là
frequently
de la
than
part de nos
anything
clients,
else,
c'était est-ce
what
qu'il
we
faut
get from
continuer
our
à communiquer ou
customers
arrêter
is the
complètement
question of
nos
whether
communications.
they
Donc c'était
must
une
continue
question
communicating
vitale
or
pour
stop
nous
their
et pour nos
communication. So
clients.
it is very vital for
Je
us
pense
and
que nous
our
avons pu
customers.
assurer la
And
continuité
I
de
think
notre
we've managed
activité
to
à
ensure the
ce moment-là
continuity of our
grâce à deux
activity
choses. Deux
in
choses
a
qui
time
nous
like
ont
this, thanks
beaucoup
to
aidés et sur lesquelles nous avons beaucoup travaillé
issues
lors
or
de ces
things that
formations,
have
lors
helped
des
us
formations Ceed Glow
continue
et que nous avons
with our
appliquées au sein de
activities, things
Beyond
that we have
Pictures
applied
depuis le
to
début. La
our
première
endeavors
était
from the beginning. First,
la mise en place d'une vision stratégique.
having a
La deuxième, c'était
strategic
l'impulsion
vision,
et la
and
cohérence
second, implementing in a
l'implication et la
consistent
cohésion de nos
manner
équipes. Ces deux
the
axes
activities that we
très
perform
importants
as a team.
nous ont
It's
nous
really
ont permis à
important
ce
this. We
moment-là
have doing these two things or following these two principles. We have managed
faciliter la
to
tâche lors de cette crise
facilitate the
lorsqu'on a vu
tasks
l'impact de
that
nos
we have
choix
to
stratégiques
perform,
et nous avons vu
choosing in a
comment nous avons
strategic
pu en
manner
sortir le
all the
choc.
time,
Je me
so that we
rappelle
can
encore
raise
des
ourselves
séances de
out of
coaching
the
avec notre
shock.
formateur Slim Benamba.
Madame, our trainer, has performed and offered coaching sessions to guarantee the sustainability of the business, the maintenance of the team. And at the heart of our agency, we've always considered it was very important to define certain points. For instance, choosing the right customers and markets. For quite a long time now, we have chosen to work with certain types of customers that guaranteed a financial balance for us and financial security for us. We were full production during the lockdown, and some projects have been cancelled, but most of them were already on the way.
On devrait livrer à temps,
and we had to deliver something. Therefore, we were very active. This has actually been very good for us. Some other strategic consideration, which is very important and has saved us to a certain extent, is the diversification of our operations. We started as an audiovisual agency with one single department, an audiovisual department, but we have been developing other departments, strategy, graphic design, digital. And obviously, throughout this time with audiovisual, when some orders had been cancelled, we always had some other projects going in other sections. For instance, digital has really saved us in a time such as this. Without the digital department, we would have been pretty much dead in the water, I dare say, because at least 70% of our projects are digital now. What's really important also is the team, the consistency, the glue that brings together the team with the coaching I alluded to and simulations with our trainer, Selima. We have worked a lot with many simulations in training, working on motivation and the involvement of our team. It's always a question of judging or assessing them in terms of their contribution when we talk about the team members, which is what we have done for years now. We have tried to always work in a flexible manner, developing software for project management. This is perhaps first generation of software developers in a sense. But we've done our own, and this software has enabled us to have a certain degree of autonomy and to take responsibility for our actions as team members. This has helped solve problems of delays and other operational issues, ensure the quality of our performance, and help us work better. And this method, this agility, this shared responsibility, this sense of belonging to the agency has enabled us to guarantee the continuity of our activity, sticking to the delivery dates and guaranteeing the quality of the work. There's been certain adjustments, but the infrastructure was there. Something else that has been very important, something we've taken on board deeply, is the importance of a network, of networking, and establishing those networks of contacts to taking part in different programs with startups and other customers. For me, it was very interesting to see the experience of other entrepreneurs to do this in order to discover an ecosystem that was already there in full strength that could help us with our activity. Instead of us just feeling alone and low and feeling down. I trust you'll all be in agreement with me that working from home is sometimes a struggle and it's quite a problem, but sometimes it is also a joy to have meetings face-to-face with clients, customers, and collaborators. Thank you. Thank you. You are a warrior, as Winston Churchill said. It's better to take on board changes and take change by the hand rather than wait for it to take us by the throat. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for highlighting the importance of networking and the networks of contacts and how that has helped you in your company. And now we give the floor to Ines Semini, who's part of the Ceed Grow program. Ines, you have the floor now. Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you, Wafa, for the introduction. And thank you, girls, ladies. I love your presentations. I want to share with you an experience from the beginning of the lockdown. At the beginning of the lockdown, my priority has been changed completely in life. Of course, the economy has been ravaged and the situation is so exceptional. I had no responses. My first reaction has been to think about security, how to guarantee the security of the people around me. I work in the management of IT waste, and I couldn't continue working, but my people have stayed home and continued to get payment. I knew hospitals were going to be hardly hit, and I wanted to continue working nevertheless. It was a bit of a panic time, but I wanted to avoid that panic. I wanted to be useful to others and show solidarity. But of course, I wanted to save my project too, because my project is so important to me. So how could I save my project? I asked myself how to make it survive in a time of crisis such as this. So I started thinking, what can I do? What can I do? I was faced with many uncertainties. Right from the start, right from the creation of the project 2009, I didn't have the resources, and I did what I could, but I didn't want to go back to that situation. And I said to myself, now I have many more resources. I have a lot of experience. I have the contacts. I've overcome so many obstacles already. I know how to do this. I can do this. I have resisted other situations that are worse. So in the end, these uncertainties I have faced, all entrepreneurs are faced with uncertainties. And of course, what I've done is to work redirecting my project. And I've started thinking about raising my project out of the crisis with a method that is worked very well for me. Invest in the least of energy to get the maximum result. I have contacted my colleagues and collaborators and engaged in a relation with also my funders. That was useful, but I had to be realistic. Some customers, some suppliers might go. Perhaps bankers would not be so helpful, but I had to keep hope in the face of reality. But how do you get motivated in a situation such as this, and you look out the window and see everybody's in lockdown? The activity has stopped at international level, not only in your country. I needed a bit of oxygen, which is where Ceed appeared. Ceed has been a ball of energy for me, full of professionals, with a woman at the helm, dynamic and full of resources. UfM she activates all these resources with solidarity, with sharing of experiences to overcome the pandemic, with digital, virtual meetings that have helped us, inspired us. And one that has really made a difference for me is transformative leadership, a workshop around that. And I want to thank all for this approach and sharing this approach to help us in moments difficult such as this, in the faces of all these uncertainties. So how do we apply what we've learned in these workshops? How do we reinforce our competencies? How do we gain confidence, gain credibility, maintain our head high and our attitude in the right place? How do we do this? How do we reinvent ourselves with the values of engagement and sharing? I've been part of all these sessions and sessions before since 2015, which have been very important for my project. And I still hear those voices that have helped me with the pandemic. We've had to break many eggs to make the omelette, as it were. And so I have to say, I thought to myself, why not join forces with other entrepreneurs, think together, share experiences, and see how we can move forward. We've done this, and it's been a pleasure and a tremendous help within the We Inspire program. And the theme with MMT was fintech and sharing experiences in a context whereby we've learned that when we take action and improve our performance, we can get better results. So I need to thank them and thank you all for your attention. Thank you, Ines. Thank you for all the things you've shared about your experience. Didier used to say that sharing experiences and the competences of everybody favors the growth of collective intelligence by seeking out, sharing success and growth. We pursue excellence. So thank you all. Thank you to all the sharing you've done, the three of you. And through this, we've been able to know more and learn more about how we face this crisis. And of course, it is true that nobody's helped you with the strategy. I suppose nobody could imagine a pandemic such as this. It was unimaginable, as somebody said already. And thanks to all you've learned, and thanks to all the sharing you've done, the sharing of experiences and knowledge, you've been able to face these first-class problem we're all facing worldwide. I want to ask a question. Okay, so it is a question. I was reading it in English about what's the key tool that you've used to resist in the face of the COVID crisis, particularly in financial terms. Is it finance? Is it access to markets? What is it? Could any of you please respond? That would be great. Thank you for sharing. I think Sandespan has had the financial support measures that have been taken by certain programs to help entrepreneurs to initiate jobs. So perhaps you could start sharing how this financial aid has enabled you to resist better. Actually, with the crisis, or even before the crisis, I have taken part in so many events. Every time there was a training, there was something going on, a workshop, whatever, I tried to be there. I tried to learn about all the new ideas and tools. And yes, indeed, COVID has changed the game completely. But I had a lot of training by then with various programs, particularly around certification. And thanks to that, I have managed to face my problems and my concerns and say to myself, with the certification in a moment such as this is going to indeed help, even though it is not the only objective, of course. The key objective here is to get to a point where we can have a unit that can treat the maximum waste. And so we started talking to various actors virtually. And luckily, I've had the opportunity to get funding to put the project together. I had problems for the acquiring of protection equipment, but thanks to the help obtained, we've managed to have new suppliers during this crisis and solved that problem. And access to finance has saved us. But I want to also highlight that it is very important to surround yourself with people, be it whatever it may be, the activity you're in and the industry you're in. You must listen to all the collaborators and work as a team. So investing, if I have understood correctly, has been important, and you've invested in having a network, being present in events at national or international level in order to be seen, and also keep in touch with associations in order to be able to increase that network, which has enabled you to deploy that capacity and given you the possibility to get the funding and also the necessary resources to develop and continue developing your business and your activity. Manel, Ines, have you got any other comments or experiences to share with you with regards to these questions?
Je peux ajouter une chose, moi, ce que je conseille tous les entrepreneurs et toutes les entrepreneurs, c'est d'instaurer une relation de confiance et de partenariat avec les clients et fournisseurs. Parce que les clients, ils sont importants, mais les fournisseurs aussi, ils sont très importants. C'est que ce que nous a permis, nous, de continuer à travailler après, à part les choses que nous avons citées au début.
Things I've already mentioned, because we had a very
qu'on avait créé avec nos
a very good trusting relationship with the suppliers. That's been very important for us. We've managed to look after and maintain and keep our suppliers, and we're very proud of that, having that trusting relation, that partnership relationship with our suppliers. There is no supplier that has called me up during the crisis to say, you have to pay now. Even though some of them were struggling. When I've called customers to ask when we might be paid, I've contacted the suppliers also to explain what the situation was and how to prioritize the payments. Priority was established on the basis of those who were struggling the most, actually. Those were the ones that would get paid first. And also with our customers, we have talked about most of them as to how those who could pay would pay, but we have issued invoices and advance invoices for some. Always seeking out a balance. For the customers who couldn't pay so quickly, we would have said in most cases, okay, no problem, we are going to divide the payment in installments, trying always to help and see how we can contribute and help others in the face of the situation and try to work with people in a helping relationship. That's been very important for us. So I always insist on how we must establish that a trusting relationship, a partnership relationship. This is a long-term relationship we establish, and when a crisis comes, the work in building that trust really pays off. Thank you so much. I have perhaps another question to pose to Ines, if that's okay. What are the main policies and actions at local and national level in your country to support companies led by female directors during the crisis, so that we have a bit of idea of the measures by governments, among others, the relationship with bankers, installments for payments, the update of credits or revolving credits. So what are the measures that have been put in place for all that? Well, during this period, there's been proposals for the refinancing of debt, and it was not only for female-led companies. It wasn't specific for companies where leaders were female, but for all companies, helping companies perhaps paying a little fine and being able to refinance, and also giving companies aid so that people could stay home and not use public transportation to go to work and so on. So I know of these measures, and in my own case, I have managed to, as Manel, manage payments in a sensible way, but seeking out this help that was offered to all companies. In the formal sector, that is, of course. Because obviously the informal sector, that's a completely different story, and I don't know what's happened there. Yeah, I can imagine that. I suppose the government has not launched measures for the informal sector. Obviously, all entrepreneurs in the formal sector are perhaps where we need to consolidate the activity in Tunisia. As you know, there is an informal sector that's fairly significant. After the revolution, the informal sector has grown even bigger than the formal sector, and that's another story, a different debate with regards to what's happened with the informal sector during the pandemic and how they haven't benefited from any advantages.
Donc, what can you tell women who want to launch their business now? So would you encourage them or not? Of course, yes, we do. There's always a moment to launch any business, but they really have to see how they're doing it. They need to go and focus on opportunities because many times the projects that we like or we fancy are not profitable. So first they need to study profitability and then they launch their company. They don't just launch their company because they like it or not. No. They need to analyze the situation first. They need to have a very clear vision and, of course, seek help. So if they have a seed in their country, that would be fantastic. We'll have just a sharing of experiences because it's through sharing information and good practices that we can just move forward with a much better vision, of course. Yes. Also, I just encourage all women just to launch their businesses because sincerely, I believe that women, they're much swifter in taking decisions and you know, a woman who can just handle carrying a baby for 9 months. I mean, this person can just handle any administrative problems. And women, we are just made to overcome problems. And as Madame Ines said, of course, we need to take risks, but these risks have to be very well analyzed and very well understood before. We need to push forward. We need to move because women, we have the courage, as always. Women, we have always been the leverage point of economy in our countries and communities. Well, thank you, Manel. Do you encourage women also to just move forward in these difficult times? How can we really catch opportunities in these very difficult times? Because normally during crisis, there are always opportunities that arise. So what do you believe about this, Manel?
Se lancer, oui, je pense qu'il faut il faut se lancer si on veut faire notre projet. Parce que pas forcément tout le monde veut faire de l'entrepreneuriat.
Well, of course, not everybody can be an entrepreneur.
Mais si on a envie depuis, par exemple, nous, pour notre projet, c'est depuis notre enfance que mon frère et moi, on voulait lancer ce projet. Donc, si on a cette envie de lancer son propre projet, c'est comme un bébé, en fait. Il faut bien se préparer.
It's like a baby. We need to prepare for it very carefully, and we need to have all the different necessary tools to do so. We need to improve our skills. So as we evolve, we need to develop all the skills that we need for the future. And in times of crisis, I believe that we cannot improvise to manage a crisis. We need to be prepared. Many times we have small crises or for big crises. So we need to be very well prepared. And I believe that we need to have a comprehensive global strategic vision also, because the future crises are the result of the questions and issues that we didn't solve today. So that's why we need to solve our issues and our questions, answer our questions now in order to be able to face crises in the future. The microphone, Wafe. Microphone. Yes, basically I was concentrated on reading the last question. The question is about the lack of data and basically the informal companies and employment and all this data, all this lack of data, I believe, related to formal or informal sector, and the adoption of the gender perspective also in the economic. I just did not understand the question basically in English. I'm just trying to read it again. I don't know, maybe this is a question that is directed to specialists, data specialists who collect information about the informal sector, about the gender, etc. In Tunisia, if I can allow myself, there's not a lot of information about the informal sector, but I don't know, Ines, if you have anything to do to say about this. I believe that there are many things that have been done already to formalize the informal sector. So basically this was done in the management of the home waste. It was called Berbesha. It was done with GIZ, the German cooperation agency. So basically there was a program of vaccines for the people, and they just could go and collect all the waste, and there was a specific place where they just put and manage the waste. So basically, how can we integrate the informal sector? How can we just offer an opportunity for women to move from the informal sector to the formal sector? I believe that we need to work sector per sector. If we see that there are many women, for example, who are just working in a very specific informal sector like waste collection. So basically we could just organize this waste collection, just offer them the opportunity basically to just formalize this work and train them, of course, because if they're not trained and if they don't want to be registered as waste managers, I don't know, maybe the state needs to encourage them. Basically, they need to understand that it's not only just to pay taxes that they have to be registered, but also to have security in their jobs and to be very well paid at just acceptable rates. Many times those women just don't leave the informal sector because they don't know how to do so, because they don't have the tools, they don't have information, because they're only interested in just bringing back food to their children. So that's why we need to help them to overcome this. Well, thank you, Ines, for your response. I have another question. I would like to hear Sandus about it. What are the main lessons that you have learned through this crisis, and how are you going to integrate these lessons learned in your company starting from today? Well, the first lesson is that you cannot be selfish with your teams. We need to work with our team. We need to show solidarity. We need to be transparent with our partners. We need to be as frank as possible. We need to share absolutely everything, the good and the bad. We need really to be transparent and be very sincere with our teams. We need to show them solidarity. We need to share everything, the good and the bad things, and then we are going to find solutions. So the first advice is that we need to have a strong team that is showing solidarity, that is helping each other. We need to listen to our partners. We need to try to help them out. And we cannot always think that the crises are critical situations. We need to really try to find solutions. How can we change things? How can we create opportunities from difficult situations, and how can we play the role of a leader by managing? Well, personally, for example, when we had a problem of COVID, I just worked with my husband and with all our team to face this problem. And this is how we overcame this problem. And this is how we are just thriving. And actually, we just added the number of our personnel. Wow, during an international crisis where a human being is in the heart of it, the role of humans is very important, and the implication of the whole team is extremely important. You need to be transparent, you need to be very clear in terms of your strategy, your vision. You need to share your vision with them. So the collective intelligence is extremely important in this, and I believe that your words are extremely strong, and just to go back to the human being and the role of humans in this crisis is of an utmost importance. So I want to thank you for sharing this information with us. Thank you so much for all talking about your experiences, and we see the importance of the three pillars of that we try to develop in Ceed, which is the continuous training, the lifelong learning and training, which is what we do, and also the mentoring or coaching or accompanying. It's basically everything. So basically helping the entrepreneur by people who are just dedicated to do this. And the third pillar is the networking, which is an extremely important tool in order just to make sure that the company will thrive in the future. And I want to use the 3 minutes left to ask you in 1 minute to tell me what is the key message that you would love to send to the public here. Thank you so much for your patience, and I want to give the floor to Ines. What is your key message? What do you believe would be the very last word to our public? Well, firstly, I want to thank you for offering me the space to share my experience. What I want to say is that COVID can come back, or maybe other viruses. So we need to integrate this risk and understand it and understand how to fight it. We need to be a part of a network in order not to be alone, which is what we are doing with Ceed in Tunisia. We need to share experience in order to have a much clearer vision, because all together we are just riding the same boat. So we have different viewpoints, we have different perspectives, we can share the information, we can really move forward much surely and much better, basically, altogether than alone. Thank you very much, Ines. So for you, we need to break isolation during the time of a crisis. It's a solution that allows the entrepreneur to share, to live, to see what other people are just going through, and to consolidate ourselves through the help of the others, because we need counseling, we need sharing, we need to basically to receive all the positive waves in order to move forward in times of crisis. So Manel, what could you tell us? What are your last messages that you would like to convey to our public before the end of this session?
Je pense la première
I believe that the first thing,
là, on aura peut-être d'autres pandémies, comme Inès a dit d'ailleurs déjà. Donc la première chose, c'est de profiter pleinement de la vie entre
so first and foremost, we need to really take advantage of our present life now and enjoy it to the full. And I just highlight the importance of having a strategy, of establishing a trust relationship and to work as partners with our suppliers, with our clients, with our teams. We need to really give a huge importance to our teams, and this is very important. And we need to work on developing their skills. And also, of course, we need to work in networking. We need to share experiences, benchmarking with all the other companies. I believe it is of utmost importance to really understand the experiences of the others and to learn mainly from others. Thank you very much, Manel. Thank you for all the information. Ceed is a big family, and we're just very happy and proud to have you. Sondos, what is the last message that you would like to convey? Sincerely, I would tell everybody that what we're doing, we are doing it the right way, and we're going to find solutions because we're honest, because we have dreams and we believe in our dreams. We cannot just be hindered by circumstances. We need to be surrounded by positive people who just encourage us all the time. And thank you very much, Wafa, because you are one of those women to whom I have a huge respect. And if I am an entrepreneur, it's thanks to you. Well, thank you. Well, basically, the most important meeting I had in my life, it was with you. You give me a vision, a new vision, what entrepreneurship is. And it is an occasion now to publicly thank you for this. Well, it touches my heart. Thank you so much. I am so happy to see you growing and thriving. And bravo for everything you're doing for your regions, for your communities, for your families. I will leave now the floor to my colleague Tara from Ceed Morocco, and she will be moderating the second session about women empowerment, the story of a Moroccan leader. Thank you so much for being with us, and I hope to see you in the future. Thank you to all of you, and see